No, this is not a clickbait video, nor am I here to make any controversies. After playing Arc Raiders extensively during the previous tech test and during recent open beta, I genuinely wanted to have a discussion with you all regarding who this game is really for. This is not something as easy as it sounds because I really love Arc Raiders, and I firmly believe this game is going to be one of the best extraction shooters in the market once it releases. The hype around this game is genuinely real, so naturally I'm going to invite a fair amount of internet hate for making this video. But in order to have a candid discussion, I'd like us to get down from that Arc Raider hype train for just a little while and ask ourselves some questions that may be unpleasant. Questions like, what kind of a player are you? Casual or competitive? Do you play solo or with randoms, or do you have a group of friends to play this game with? Can you afford to play this game every day, or can you play it only during the weekends? Are you comfortable with the PvP part, or do you just want to engage with the PvE elements of this game? If you happen to be very good at other PvP shooter games, then you don't need to worry about it at all. You will be fine by all means. But I would love for you to watch the rest of the video and share your thoughts on the points that I'm trying to discuss or bring forward. As for casual players like me, after spending my fair share of time in both PvP and PvE of this game, I believe we need to look at these questions before committing to Arc Raiders, so that we are clear about what we actually want from this game and what this game can realistically offer us. We'll address each of these questions in detail, and at the end, I'll share my personal opinion and reasons about whether I will be playing Arc Raiders at launch or not. By the way, before we proceed further into the video, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here, and your support means the world to me. Please hit that like button if you're enjoying the video so far, and consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. I'm going to address the last question, being comfortable with the PvP in Arc Raiders, first. As casual players, we must understand the reality that Arc Raiders is a PvPvE extraction shooter. Yes, it has a gorgeous and immersive world, and the PvE elements are so meticulously designed that they make you want to just keep on exploring it. When I first saw the world of Arc Raiders, I immediately fell in love with it, and I still believe this is hands down one of the best world designs I've ever seen in a video game, let alone in an extraction shooter. That being said, you cannot avoid PvP in this game. Sooner or later, you will have to engage in PvP fights, and if you are thinking that you will only engage with the PvE part and avoid PvP completely, get that thought out of your head right now. It may not happen on every run, but there will be numerous scenarios leading to a PvP fight, such as the most obvious one, camping at exfils, same POIs for you and another team, or random encounters, etc. There will even be daily or weekly challenges tied to your battle pass progression that will involve dealing damage to other raiders or eliminating a set number of raiders or something like that. This whole discussion seems like such an obvious thing, right? But I have seen people discussing how they love exploring the world of Arc Raiders and not really caring about the PvP, and that's setting the wrong expectation. Expect PvP fights every time you go topside and be prepared for them. You may win or lose that fight, that's a different story. But being mentally prepared for a PvP fight gets you halfway through the door. So now that we have set our expectations straight, let's address the following questions. Let's start with the type of player you are. What I mean to ask is whether you play shooter games like Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Battlefield, Valorant, etc., or maybe other extraction shooters like Escape from Tarkov or Grey Zone Warfare regularly, and whether you can stand on your own against other players in those games or not. Yes, I know it may not sound pleasing to the ears, but ask that question to yourself, and if your answer is yes, then great. You are addressing two things at the same time. Not only would you be able to handle the PvP part of this game, but you will be comfortable with it. And in case you haven't played an extraction shooter till now, unlike some other shooters, extraction shooters tend to be very unforgiving, and Arc Raiders is no different. Plus, this is a third-person extraction shooter, so you will have corner peeking, shoulder swapping, etc. Also, you can't almost instantly switch to your secondary in this game, unlike other shooter titles I mentioned earlier. The ADSing in this game is also different from other shooter titles. But since you already have a strong base to build upon, these kind of additional things can be learned without much issue. But on the other hand, if you do not play shooter games regularly, or you do not feel that you are somewhat decent in those games, you're going to struggle in PvP scenarios. There's no better way to put it. You will end up losing the majority of those fights, and eventually it will build up frustration. There are PvE missions that require you to exfil with certain items in your inventory, so dying midway and not being able to exfil with the items will definitely going to frustrate you at one point of time. Of course, if you stick with the game and work toward getting better at it, you will improve, but it won't happen overnight. It will take time, and if you are up for it, then you will have an amazing experience in this game. Unlike casual shooters like Call of Duty and Battlefield, playing solo or with randoms or with friends in a pre-made group significantly affects your experience in an extraction shooter. Even your approach to gameplay changes with the respective group. When you are playing solo, you are far more cautious of your actions and pay more attention to your surroundings. You generally tend to avoid PvP encounters, but I have also seen players like Shroud single-handedly annihilating full group of players. But please understand, those players have very good aiming and shooting skills. Some of them have hundreds, if not thousands of hours of shooting experience in traditional shooter games that they have carried into Arc Raiders. And it's not just motor skills. They also bring forward years of experience being in those tense PvP moments and knowing how to overcome their opponents. So my point is, unless you at least have very good shooting skills in PvP multiplayer games, playing in a 3-stack pre-made group is always going to give you the best experience. You will have more wiggle room to make mistakes and come out alive, whether it's a PvE or PvP situation. By the way, don't take the PvE enemies in this game lightly. They can get the better of you and humble you in unexpected ways. The second best group category would be matchmaking with randoms but with open mic. This is one of those games where people will join as randoms, and if you start communicating directly via mic, it will always be better. The next best thing to do would be pings if you all do not speak a common tongue. And lastly, if you are hellbent on playing completely solo, then I would at least advise you to keep your proximity mic open. There are numerous times when I was able to avoid conflict with other players simply by speaking to them on proximity chat. Not everyone is an asshole trying to kill solo players, just make sure that you don't shoot first. But there will be those guys who will try to trick you or will simply shoot as soon as they see you, even if you don't shoot them back. There will be people camping at extraction sites and they will jump on you without a second thought. Things will feel unfair and you will be frustrated. Just understand that it's a choice you have made by choosing to go solo. The reason why this matters is because it is directly tied to your progression and unlocks, which lead to crafting and upgrading, resulting in better gear that will help you in your PvE as well as PvP fights. And if you want to experience harder difficulty content like fighting the Queen, you will need top quality gear and weapons. Guess who is going to unlock gear and progress faster, and at the same time improve their overall skill in this game? A person who is able to play every day, or a person playing only during weekends? I don't think I'll have to answer that. We also have a skill tree in this game, and as your character ranks up, you gain skill points to assign in that skill tree and unlock passive skills or traits. Also, if you didn't know, there will not be a traditional wipe system in this game like other extraction shooters. It will provide players the option to perform a voluntary wipe on their own once they hit max level in exchange for some exclusive cosmetics, but there will be no mandatory wipes for all players at the start of every season. The devs said they introduced this system keeping in mind the casual players who are unable to dedicate more time to the game compared to others, and that they would be listening to community feedback and making future changes if necessary. The point is, if you are someone like me who is unable to dedicate time to play Arc Raiders every day, please understand that we will progress slower than most of the other folks who will be playing the game daily. And that's natural. We will come up against players with better gear and we may end up losing those fights simply based on gear disparity. I'm comfortable with the fact that players who dedicate their time to this game every day having better gear than me, and I hope you are too. Well, if you are a casual player, not well versed in multiplayer or extraction shooters, you are going to play this game solo or with randoms, and you cannot afford to dedicate time to play this game every day, my friend, I'm afraid to say this, but Arc Raiders might end up being not fun for you. But if you are comfortable playing with random teammates and communicating via mic, or open to try this as a new challenge, things may turn out for the better. You may end up making new friends, and then you will not be a solo player anymore, right? The thing with random teammates is that you never know what you will get. So keep an open mind and be the initiator. More often than not, people are just hesitant or afraid to talk, and they just need a little push. Try to be that push for your random teammates, and I believe you will have a lot of fun in this game. As for me, even though I consider myself as a casual player, I am well versed in multiplayer shooters and battle royales. Not so much in the extraction side of things. I will be playing mostly during weekends, but I am ready to learn how to play extraction shooters, and I am taking up playing with randoms and communicating in-game as a challenge for myself. Who knows, I might end up making new friends. The possibilities are endless. I'll be making videos on Arc Raiders, so if you are interested, please subscribe to the channel, and if you haven't already liked the video, please hit that like button. This is your fellow Raider DJ signing off for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.